Cold War Zombies is coming out tomorrow, and since the reveal of the Zombies trailer, Treyarch has been releasing tiny snippets of information about what's in Zombies and what it's gonna be like. Well, around the beginning of November, they released a lot of information about it on Twitter, and I took a bunch of screenshots of it, and I would just like to give my opinions on it. Now, note, this is my opinion, so please do not bash me. This is not set in stone. This could be bound to change. Cold War Zombies is coming out tomorrow, and I will be giving a very thorough review of it, probably a week after I've absorbed everything about it. But for now, I'm just going to look at these first initial thoughts and ideas that Cold War Zombie is going to have, and I'm going to give my opinions on them. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting off, we're going to be getting into the perks that are coming with the first map, the Machine. I'm not even going to attempt to say the German name for it, so I'm just going to be calling it the Machine throughout the entire video. It's going to come with these 6 perks. Now, a good majority of them are familiar, only one of them should seem fairly new concept to you. And I'm just going to straight up say that I feel like this is actually the perfect amount of perks for the first starting Zombies map. You don't want to make it too complicated, give the player too many choices, but at the same time, you want the player to think about their loadout. Now, I'm not sure if there's going to be ways to acquire more than 4 perks. I assume the perk limit is going to stay at 4 until further notice, but these 4 perks, now you can have a variety of loadouts with this, but there's still going to be this issue where Juggernaut is probably always going to be picked, so there's always going to be a couple of outliers within these perks reaches, but I assume throughout the entire life cycle of Cold War Zombies there's going to be a lot more, I would say, perks added to the game. Now, there is a perk upgrade system in this game. I don't fully understand this yet, but we will all soon. There's apparently 3 tiers of upgrades to perks, so maybe Juggernaut starts off as 1 extra hit, then 2 extra hits, then 3 extra hits. I'm not too sure. There could be health bars to indicate how much health you have, like it did in Black Ops 4. I really wouldn't mind that feature, but so far, this is a great start to what Cold War Zombies is going to be. And bringing back a familiar perk system and familiar perk names was the right idea, and straying away from Black Ops 4 was a good start. I see Treyarch has decided to go with some sort of rarity weaponry system in Black Ops Cold War, and I am completely okay with this. This is an entirely new concept for zombies, not a new concept in general, but for zombies, having different rarities of weapons in the box. Now this I am okay with. Starting off with a common weapon is fine, and working your way up to stronger weapons. That feels like the player is making progress, and it makes the player feel more engaged with the map. That is fantastic. Now, the problem I have is with the second sentence in the tweet that want to start out with a classic 1911 pistol, go for it. I mean, wouldn't that what you always be started with? In Black Ops 4, they kind of gave you this freedom to choose a weapon, and normally the starting weapons in Black Ops 4, a couple of them you could bring to the very end of the game, and this wasn't necessarily a problem. It kind of turned into something I like to call crutch weaponry, where you hold on to this gun the entire game. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It just means that the player is going to interact with less weapons in the game. Now, of course, you gotta have junk weapons in the box and good weapons, but when you always start off with one of the best weapons in the game, that could be quite the issue. Now, I quite understand that the starting weapon is always going to be the lowest tier rarity, but come on, like, if you pick an LMG, that LMG should fairly well carry you into the late 20s of a round, pack-a-punched or not. So this is something that I'm quite interested to see. I'm not sure how this is going to perform, but we will have the answer very soon. I'm sure everyone's going to immediately ditch the 1911 starting pistol if that's what you start out with. I'm not sure, unless it turns into a Mustang and Sally like the classics. There is no PhD, so Mustang and Sally might underperform, but we're gonna have to wait and see. This is probably one of the only few, I wouldn't say issues, but concerns that I have, making things seem too crutch. I don't want too many crutch things in the game. I want everything to be sort of in a balanced state, but I understand that is extremely hard for a mode like this, but we will see. Zombies is introducing another cooperative team element in the form of offensive, defensive, and support field upgrades. Now, this I am extremely excited for. This adds a new layer of teamwork into the mode, and it is something that can be explored greatly. These can be added so easily, these can be so diverse, detailed, and it is something that I'm looking very forward to. Now, it seems you have 5 to start out with to choose from, only bringing 1 within it. And just by looking at these, you can kind of already tell which ones are which. So the Frost Blast is probably offensive or defensive, I would say. Probably more defensive. Healing Aura, obviously support. Energy Mine might be defensive or offensive. Ring of Fire, it will definitely be defensive. And Aether Shroud, I can only assume, could probably be support. It could probably be all 3 of them, I'm not sure. Now, these are going to be very interesting. These are something you're going to want to talk about before you start the game with your teammates, going into Easter egg, which one best suits your combat style and play style, and maybe even fluctuating within a boss fight. Now, this is a fantastic idea, not only adding a new layer to zombies, but also increasing the communication and teamwork that comes with zombies. Now, I assume a couple more of these will be added throughout the life cycle of Cold War. It's just another great thing Treyarch has done. I'm glad something like this is being done. The last game to do it was World War II. I don't really quite fondly remember what they were, but looking at World War II, the game didn't do too well. But here's Treyarch. Treyarch is known for this. This is what they were built for, and I'm only assuming the best from them. So we're gonna see what they are when they come out. Again, here, there is another interesting concept that is being added. Support items, kind of like how it is in multiplayer with your field upgrade. Well, these support items will probably be your equipment slot, probably your X, or I don't know what it is on console, but it is the item there just to simply back you up. It's not your lethal or tactical, it is kind of your support slot. Now, all of these are really cool in concepts, and you can already identify what they do and how they're going to perform. But the one kind of, I wouldn't say issue, but kind of thing I'm confused about is how you pick these up from the mystery box. Now, if I'm kind of struggling maybe on round like 16 and I only have, for some reason in a situation have only 950 points, and I hit the box and I get a self-revive. Well, I guess I'm just screwed, right? That is probably the only thing bad that can happen. I'm kind of nitpicking, but if I really wanted a gun and I went to the box expecting something nice and I got one of these 5 things, I would kind of be a little turned off in a way. This is something you want to pick up probably when you're, I wouldn't say jacked already in your arsenal, but getting to the point where you can sustain yourself. Again, it's just another layer and concept of content that we can look forward to within the zombies mode, and I'm glad things like this are being added. They aren't really huge major things, but they're kind of a subcategory of content that I feel like the game really needed, and what Black Ops 4 was missing. Just kidding, Black Ops 4 was missing a lot, but this is fantastic new content that I've been waiting for, and we're getting that much closer to it. So this is going to be the last tweet that I'll be taking a look at, and it's kind of fitting because it is the new Exfil feature that's going to be coming to zombies. Now, the normally way to end zombies in the past would be to either complete an Easter egg that ends the game or simply die. But here now there's a third option, and that's Exfil. Now this is actually really nice. Say you want to get off with your friends and you don't feel like dying, and you certainly don't feel like completing the Easter egg. Well, you can Exfil, and this happens at every 5 intervals of, so you're on round 10, it'll happen, and round 15 it'll happen, 20, 25, 30, so on and so forth. And I remember from the reveal trailer that when you attempt your escape, the zombies are going to go crazy. They are going to be going ballistic to try to make you fail. And this is what it was missing. This is what Black Ops 4 needed. Some sort of hype ending. Something that would bring kind of an adrenaline feeling to your escape. Like everything starts to get chaotic. And this is what I like. So with this new feature being added, it brings a kind of a whole new depth to the game. And a new way to end it too. And this is actually a really interesting feature, and if I'm being honest, probably the coolest feature that they have shown so far. But that is going to do it for me. Everything I've checked out today seems really, really interesting, and we are less than 24 hours away by the time you're seeing this. That is absolutely insane. The journey's been so long, the road has been tough, but at long last, we're going to be playing zombies again, and hopefully it is better than what Black Ops 4 left us with. This is a new generation, a new story for zombies, and this is extremely exciting for me, and probably just as much for you guys. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys playing zombies.